Wow, this is not normal. This is so weird. This is a very strange London we're in at the moment, I can tell you that. Hello and welcome back to London. Very rainy London today. It has been raining pretty much straight for the last 3 days, but you know, if you live in London, you're pretty much used to that. So we thought we're gonna go out in the city today and explore a bit more. I guess this place where we're right here doesn't really need any introduction. It's Piccadilly Circus, obviously in the heart of the city. Everyone knows this place, and if you're a tourist, you're definitely gonna come here first. Today we're gonna explore Soho, which is a district in the West End of London, and which is the entertainment center of the city. It's full of bars, of pubs, of restaurants, of shops, of loads of nightlife things you can do there. Piccadilly Circus is kind of on the edge of Soho. So Soho is marked between Piccadilly Circus and Leicester Square, Oxford Street, which is the biggest shopping street, and Regent Street. So today we're gonna go just around the area a bit and explore, and I'll show you a bit of Soho. So this shows you pretty well where Soho is. We were here at Piccadilly Circus and we're just walking along Regent Street. This is Oxford Street, this is Charing Cross Road, and here we've got Leicester Square. So this little bit here, that's Soho. We've come to Carnaby Street, which is the heart of Soho, and which is, if you only have a short amount of time, probably the best way to explore Soho. Because this is like a street on steroids. It has everything. It is so colourful. It is full of shops, of restaurants, of loads of different weird things. All the houses have a different colour. You find shops of labels you've never heard of before. Loads of people are queuing for shops and are standing in the rain for a very long time to get in. So it's very arty. There's loads of designers here. There's loads of different artists and musicians and people who are just doing their craft and just showing what they're doing. And of course it also has loads of restaurants. So I think we're going to go and explore some of them later on, definitely. And right in the middle of Soho there's Liberty's, which is one of the oldest shopping centres in London. It's very fancy, it's quite expensive. It's not quite as bad as Harrods, but it's still very luxurious. You can find everything in there, loads of cosmetics, loads of creams, loads of fashion, loads of really cool things. So definitely have a nosy around there. Even if you don't buy anything, it's worth looking at. So while this might not exactly be a Soho recommendation, it's an amazing London recommendation. It's Ole&Steen, which is a Swedish, I think, bakery, which makes these incredible cinnamon slices. You have to have one. It's so good, honestly. It's the best ever. They also do really, really nice bread, so once we get here, we always get a loaf of bread as well. So we've come to the house of MinaLima, which is in the middle of Soho, which is this amazing shop which is full of Harry Potter stuff. Not just Harry Potter, but mainly Harry Potter, because the two owners, one is called Mina, one is called Lima, they're actually the graphic designers for the whole Harry Potter series. So everything you know, the newspapers, the wallpapers, the letters, the writing, everything you see in the Harry Potter movies was created by those guys. And they've got this whole exhibition and shop here going on, which is absolutely see the newspapers, you can see postcards, you can buy books, you can see everything really they've created and how they've created it. There's a little gallery downstairs, so it's so cool to see and definitely worth checking out. So if you're in the area, come here to the house of MinaLima and just have a look around and you feel like you're back in Hogwarts. To Mildred, which is an amazing vegan restaurant right in the middle of Soho. And we have some dumplings for starters, and then we all have a Sri Lankan curry, which is sweet potatoes and some beans and rice, and I mean it smells absolutely delicious, so I think it's going to be really nice. Side of Soho is Leicester Square, and everyone knows Leicester Square because that's where all the musicals take place. So all these massive musical theatres you all find on this one street. We have massive billboards, loads of signs, and it's all sparkly and loads of lights, and it's quite a bit surreal now. This is not normal. Normally this is full of people. It's never that empty as it is now. But obviously, being in a pandemic, most of the theatres had to shut, unfortunately, and therefore it is that quiet and empty, which is really surreal. As if Soho wouldn't already be international enough, it's also home to London's Chinatown. Actually, Chinatown was first in East London, like in the 18th century when first Chinese migrants came to London and stayed here. But then it kind of all changed, and in the 19th century they started to come over here, and especially when loads of British soldiers came back from the Far East, the Chinese cuisine was so popular and so many restaurants opened up in this area. And nowadays you have over 100 authentic Chinese or East Asian restaurants, shops. There are health shops, there are clinics, there are travel agents. There's really everything you can imagine. Even the street signs are in Chinese, so it really feels like being in China, at least a little bit. Alright guys, welcome to Leicester Square, the centre of theatre, of entertainment, of restaurants, of dining out, of really having a good time in London. Well, it's not usually like this. Honestly, this is so weird. It's so empty. There's no one here. Usually on the weekend, on an afternoon, evening, as it is now, even when it's cold and wet and rainy, this place would be buzzing. It would be full of people. You wouldn't get a place in a restaurant. You would have to queue everywhere you go. And it's just like, you can't get in everywhere, usually. Now, I mean, look at this. There's no one here. I mean, there's a few tourists and a few people like us who just go for a walk, but apart from that, there's literally no one there. So this is very surreal. Don't get used to this. I mean, this is so strange. Loads of these touristy shops here where you can buy like jumpers and postcards and souvenirs and everything. They're usually buzzing with tourists. They're so full and there's like bright lights and music and everything. And they're just shut, like on a Sunday evening, and it's 7 o'clock. It's prime dinner time, and most of the restaurants here are even closed. So this is a very strange London we're in at the moment, I can tell you that. Alright guys, you might have guessed it, we made it back to Piccadilly Circus, which in turn means we've made a full round around Soho. We walked all along the streets, we went into the little alleyways, and I hope you got an insight of a little bit what Soho looks like. Obviously now that we have finished, the rain has stopped, so we've just spent a whole day in rainy London. Thanks very much for that. But anyway, I hope you had a good day, I hope you enjoyed it a little bit and got a little bit of an insight. Whoa! Just have to move a tiny little bit because it was just a massive street party starting. Well, that's London for you there. So even if it's Sunday evening, even if it's raining, even if it's wet and miserable, there's still gonna be a street party in Piccadilly Circus. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you have any questions, just drop them in the comments and I will be more than happy to help you. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up, to subscribe, and then I'll see you next time. Bye!